Trump, I'll announce Supreme Court pick next Thursday, Washington. President Trump said he will nominate a new Supreme Court justice next Thursday to replace the late Antonin Scalia, a high-profile pick likely to reignite a partisan brawl over judges in the U.S. Senate and across the country. Trump tweeted Wednesday morning that he will make the pick next Thursday. On Tuesday, Trump told reporters he will make his decision this week and announce on an unspecified day next week. We have outstanding candidates, and we will pick a truly great Supreme Court justice. But I'll be announcing it sometime next week. While the president wasn't giving out hints, most of the buzz in legal circles has focused on 3 federal appeals court judges: Neil Gorsuch of Colorado, William Pryor of Alabama, and Thomas Hardiman of Pennsylvania. Trump discussed the selection process Tuesday with key members of the Senate who will decide the nominee's fate. They included the Republican chairman and top Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee, which will hold hearings on whoever is selected. The president is looking at relatively young, solidly conservative, originalist judges in the Scalia mold, mostly those with lengthy records on federal appeals courts. White House spokesman Sean Spicer said Trump has made it incredibly clear that he will appoint justices who protect our liberty and hold the highest regards for the Constitution, some Democrats fear. Trump's first Supreme Court nominee will begin an effort to pack the high court with conservatives willing to roll back precedents on issues ranging from the environment to abortion and from civil rights to government regulations. Scalia's death in February made the Supreme Court a major issue in the presidential election between Trump and Democrat Hillary Clinton, and it led to a Senate deadlock over President Obama's nomination of federal appeals court Judge Merrick Garland to fill the post. Supreme Court won't rescue Texas voter ID law. Replacing Scalia would not shift the court ideologically from where it was a year ago. It would simply restore the conservative majority that has been missing since Scalia's death. But it also would put conservatives one seat short of a commanding majority. Trump invited Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer, Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, and Ranking Democrat Dianne Feinstein to the White House to discuss the vacancy. I appreciate the president soliciting our advice on this important matter, McConnell said. After the meeting, Grassley called it productive and frank, adding, I'm looking forward to learning who President Trump selects and the confirmation process ahead. But Schumer added a voice of caution if not outright opposition. As I've said many times, I believe the president should pick a mainstream nominee who could earn bipartisan support for the vacant Supreme Court seat, he said. I reiterated that view in our meeting today and told him that Senate Democrats would fight any nominee that was outside of the mainstream. From an initial list of 21 potential nominees, Trump appears to be looking most seriously at these 3 federal appeals court judges: Neil Gorsuch, Colorado, 10th Circuit. At 49, the youngest of the group, Gorsuch is the most natural replacement among them for the late Justice Antonin Scalia. He is a strict adherent of originalism, Scalia's belief that the Constitution should be interpreted based on the intent of the founders. He also has much of Scalia's flair as a writer. Gorsuch has the type of academic credentials common to high court justices: Columbia, Harvard Law, even Oxford. He clerked for Justices Byron White and Anthony Kennedy, then practiced law in Washington and did a stint at the Justice Department. William Pryor, Alabama, 11th Circuit. He's been the conservatives' justice in waiting for years, and at 54, the former Alabama Attorney General comes straight out of central casting. Likely in his corner, U.S. Attorney General-designate Jeff Sessions, who preceded Pryor as Alabama's top law enforcement official. But Pryor is controversial. He once criticized the Supreme Court's 1973 decision in Roe v. Wade, which legalized abortion, as the worst abomination of constitutional law in our history. And he even has taken flack from conservatives concerned about a ruling he joined in favor of transgender rights. Thomas Hardiman, Pennsylvania, 3rd Circuit, a dark horse among the finalists. Hardiman, 51, isn't unfamiliar to Trump. He sits on the same U.S. Court of Appeals for the 3rd Circuit as the president's sister, Marianne Trump Barry. Hardiman's career as a judge is marked by law and order. He has maintained a solidly conservative record on issues involving guns, searches, police officers and prison guards, more so than Scalia, who often sided with criminal defendants against overzealous prosecutors. In that sense, Hardiman is much like Justice Samuel Alito.